Morning, guys. So what a change. In the UK, London and the southeast, we've all gone into the newly created tier 4 for coronavirus. So that's Christmas cancelled for everyone here. It's created mayhem for people who aren't able to get home to their families and aren't allowed to leave tier 3 or 4. How are people going to get food? There's going to be people on their own who won't be seeing anyone this Christmas. Older people isolated on their own who can't get groceries. How the government is doing this to us? I'm speechless. I cannot believe this is happening. We went from lockdown to semi-lockdown, now to another lockdown during Christmas, but more extreme lockdown, which means that now we're not supposed to go out of our houses. Families have been ripped apart, Christmas ruined. I just worry for the mental health of the nation. How are people going to cope on their own? More vulnerable people, and no one can help. We're not allowed to help. It's shocking. How did we come to this? How did we come to this? And speaking of how did we come to this, you've got freeloaders, con men, lazy ass paralysers, the AD channel, scamming people out of any money that they have left. And if you're giving money to AD in the middle of a global pandemic, that must mean that you have a lot of money going on right now. Give it to a good cause. If you have enough money to spend £10 a month on an AD channel who is scamming you, well, he is creaming it in from many people for no reason, sitting on his lardy arse, lying to you and getting all of your money, then you must be a very rich person and doing a disservice to your family and to yourself, I would say. So now we've got Blair's mother, who suspiciously sounds younger than Blair. Be great, isn't it? Can you imagine any kosher channel? Can you imagine on Scott Reich's channel? Now we have an insider. We can't show their face because they're going to be attacked. Nobody knows why this person is going to be attacked, by the way. Why is everyone attacked? Why are all of AD's insiders attacked? Never been explained. Ask that question, see what response you get. So now we have Blair's mum. Yeah, can you imagine on Scott Reich's channel? Yes, and now we have Blair's mum. Blair, the person who was exposed on camera as not being the young, attractive Shanann lookalike with long dark hair. Yeah, but now because of that, because Blair was exposed as not being that, Blair's mum has to come on a YouTube channel, Blair's mum, and say, oh, my daughter, oh, how dare you, oh yeah, because the disability and the, they weren't saying that before Blair was exposed, were they? They were a bit cocky. Yeah, apparently Blair is right there with Chris Watts, is going into the jail, is studying forensic science. And then Blair's mum comes on because Blair has so much self-respect as an adult woman that she has to get her mother on because that's going to make her sound really, really genuine. And so that's the narrative that the AD channel went with. What are we going to do? Oh, Christ, Blair was exposed as being something very, very different to what we said. I know. People have commented on her looks. Let's get Blair's mum. Let's get a fake Blair's mum. So they bung someone else a few quid. And if you think AD is not in on this and AD is being duped, because that's the narrative he's going to go with in the end, that I didn't know. AD is in control of everything. He controls the tiers of his Patreon. He controls the guests that come in. He controls the money that comes in. And he controls you. Do not believe a word of what he says. This is not some poor old guy sitting in his flat unable to pay his lecky bill. Believe me, he lives a couple of hours away from me. I know how the UK works. This guy does not pay any bills. Believe me, he's already in trouble for not paying his own tax and doing his own books. And even Ozzy is there poking his head out going, yes. How are any of you guys believing this? I am fascinated. Please, someone get in contact with me. And when I mean get in contact with me, don't send me random messages. Oh, you're attacking a woman's looks. I wasn't attacking a woman's looks. I was saying exactly what we all saw on camera. because AD bunged this person, whoever they are, a few quid to pretend to be someone called Blair. And if that's what you think is worth your money, go for it. What does that make you? That's all I'm saying. If you prefer the narrative of being scammed to those speaking up, then what can you do? Go for it. Spend your money like that. It all adds up. All of those pounds and dollars that you're spending adds up. And you could be doing that, giving that to your own life, to your family during this time. Grandparents, grandchildren, cousins, aunties, sisters, brothers. Even if it's 40 quid, you could have bought that gift. You could have used that money for yourself to pay your own bills, to buy food, anything, rather than send it to some freeloader sitting on his ass, earning thousands from you guys for nothing. AD is nothing to do with Chris Watts. There's no communication. AD doesn't know anything more than you do. The family have tried to explain to AD to stop this nonsense, but now it's just gone into farce. If you believe this step up that he's done, this farce now, that he's suddenly created, that Chris Watts is going to give him a phone call, which magically hasn't happened, isn't that interesting? Ask that question to AD and see what response you get, guys. I appeal to all subs, start asking AD questions. Look at the metadata that he tells you to look at. Look at the metadata and then get back to one of us and tell us what he's done. Tell us if you believe in Blair. Tell us if you believe that was Blair's mother. Tell us what you think about that. Tell us about Chrissy, whether you believe that story. Tell us about Cheryl and Cadell. Believe that story. Tell us about Dr. B. Tell us about all of these women who are flocking around AD that you never really get to the bottom of, do you? The story never finishes. He just goes straight on to something else because it's Christmas and he wants as much money as possible. Did he follow up the narrative about this Blair? Did you learn anything from Blair? Did you learn anything that makes you think that Blair is actually in contact with Chris Watts? Did you see all these letters? There was someone who went on and debunked the emails. The emails weren't sent kosher to this Blair person. And AD knows that. And when this person, Sarah, rang up and said, no, I can tell by the email that these aren't real, AD got a number immediately to either threaten her or try to get her on board because she noticed something. Ozzy, come here. Ozzy's not very well today. He's a bit weird. Come here. I don't know why. He's sort of very, very slow. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I'll give him lots of cuddles later. Come here. Little thing, look. Maybe he had too many mince pies. Yeah, so please start listening and start asking questions. This freeloader doesn't deserve your money. Your family and you do. And again, if you can afford it, because you think it's entertainment at the expense of the Rusak family. Remember that. We're talking about 4 people who were brutally murdered. And it's become a joke. And now you're giving money to some random who rings up, calls himself Blair's mother and moans that people are talking about her looks. Step back and get perspective, subs. Get perspective. Think clearly with a critical mind, like he asks you to do, and say, actually, what is real in this? Because seeing AD so much messes with your mind and makes you see reality differently as his reality. Remember, this is a person who is a professional liar. He will make you believe anything he wants you to believe. That's what he does. Step back and see the birds, look at the trees, look at your family, look at the world and go, okay, what have I learnt from AD? What have I learnt from this girl Chrissy, from this Blair being? What was the purpose? The purpose was nothing but to line AD's pockets. Nothing. I tell you what, if you want to learn about the case, go to the people that were involved in the case. Start being a healthy human being. A healthy human being will think critically and go, when the alarm bells are ringing, why can't we see this Blair? Oh, why is Blair hiding but now we've seen someone completely different? Why is Blair's mother on AD channel talking about her daughter's looks. What's that got to do with the case? Think about it. It's just to keep you coming back to the channel. It's to get you on Patreon, because AD was banned from earning money on YouTube for doing exactly this. That's what he wants you to do, to get onto Patreon. You do not learn anything else on Patreon, believe us. We all know, because we see it. This is a big scam that AD is responsible for. He is in control of his channel, no one else. He is. He makes sure that it's a £10 tier that you have to pay, not a £1 tier. He is the one earning thousands and thousands of pounds from you. Please, I beg you, start to ask AD questions. Start to look at the metadata. Write it down like he says, and you will see something very different. Look at your family and then look back at the channel. Look into your children's eyes and then look back at the channel, and you'll see what's real and what love is and what honesty is, and you'll see what's not. Have a good day, guys.